Was the curse still operative?
Henry Philip Hope died childless. The diamond passed on to his nephew, whose wife ran off with another man. The Hope fortune was dissipated, and the last of the Hopes died bankrupt. The blue diamond was put up for sale in 1901.
According to legend, many others fell under its sinister influence. The Greek broker who bought it fell off a cliff and died. A Folies Bergère star wore the Hope. Her fate was sealed by a jealous lover. The next owner was a Turkish sultan whose reign was cut short by revolution. In 1910, Evelyn Walsh McLean purchased the Hope diamond. When told of the curse, Mrs. McLean replied that unlucky things always brought her good luck. A personal experience from Beatrice Burley Meyerson.
When I was a little girl, my father was Assistant Secretary of State. And one night, after going to dinner at the Mexican Embassy, we went on to a party at Evelyn Walsh McLean's. And Mrs. McLean came up to us and suggested that I might want to wear the Hope diamond. I'd like to wear the Hope diamond. I think she was trying to do something nice for a very small girl at her party. And so she put it around my neck, and I was very taken with the color of the diamond, and I just wore it for a few minutes. I'm sure she was not trying to curse me. I don't know what she felt about it for herself, but I know that she was a very unhappy woman.
Did Evelyn McLean believe the diamond she wore carried an evil curse?
Yes, she sincerely believed in the curse. As a matter of fact, Evelyn at one time took the Hope diamond to St. Patrick's Church, a local church here, to have it exorcised. And to please her, it was done.
Nevertheless, Mrs. McLean's life was plagued by tragedy. Shortly after she purchased the Hope, her young son was struck and killed by a speeding car. Mr. McLean was implicated in the Teapot Dome scandal. His business and personal life in ruins, Edward McLean died in a mental institution. In 1946, Mrs. McLean's daughter took her own life. Evelyn Walsh McLean died the following year. Mrs. McLean continued to wear the Hope until her death. In her autobiography are these words: "What happened to us all was just about as tragic as if each one, instead of only I, had worn a talisman of evil." An ancient curse from an angry god? For 3 centuries, the infamous blue diamond has left behind it a trail of tragedy. The Hope is not the only diamond associated with a curse. A fabulous necklace of diamonds cast a shadow of scandal and doubt on a royal house, and may have helped trigger a revolution. The ancients believed that stars could fall from the skies and shine on Earth as diamonds. It is ironic that the rarest gem is forged from the most common element on Earth, carbon. Over millions of years, intense heat and pressure transform the carbon into a crystal, unique in all of nature. Paul Desautels.
The one thing that makes a diamond different from anything that exists on the Earth is that it's hard. It is the hardest thing known. That transcends everything else that can be said of that diamond. And it's because of that that everything else has come about. The name diamond, by the way, means indestructible. And people thought they were, and they had special mystical significance. Diamonds were prized by the Mughal emperors and by very early potentates. They were not valued so much for themselves as for what they could do or what they represented.
In ancient India, one diamond symbolized power. It was the Kohinoor, cursed with a 600-year history of bloodshed. Legend held that whoever owned this diamond would rule the world. In 1739, a powerful Persian Shah conquered India and eagerly looked forward to possessing the Kohinoor. The defeated emperor kept his social position, for royalty was always royalty, regardless of a war's outcome. The conquering Persian Shah would uphold this royal code. Having been guaranteed personal safety, the emperor had hidden the diamond in his turban, believing its mysterious power would help him regain his throne. Meanwhile, the Shah had ransacked the city, searching for the Kohinoor. Unsuccessful, he convinced servants in the emperor's court to spy. The conqueror learned where the diamond was hidden, but he had to devise a plan that would not violate the emperor's royal status. With clever strategy, the Shah proposed a formal truce to the emperor and arranged a public ceremony. An exchange of turbans was a rarely used but traditional gesture of peace. The emperor realized he had been trapped, but he could not refuse. When the British annexed India, the Kohinoor would change hands for the last time, for it was to be set in the English crown jewels.
Throughout the ages, the lust for diamonds has inspired men and women to the most ruthless of acts. Indeed, it has been written that the history of diamonds is a chronicle of treachery and deceit. Can it be only coincidence that diamonds are so often associated with violence and evil? Perhaps, in the diamond's exquisite beauty, we see the dark reflection of our own designs.